Alrighty, good morning everybody. It's been quite a while now. I think it's been just about 10 days since I've been here. So it's good to be back. I was excited to get back to the charts yesterday and see what happened here over the last week and a half. Or I should say just the last week here. And so I think some pretty cool stuff happened. We're not going to do any reviews here this morning. We're just going to do, just go into our pre-market this morning. There is one thing I do want to mention, and that is when we left on Friday of last week, in our pre-market on Friday of last week, this is what we were looking at on our charts. So I do want to review this, and then we'll go right into what we're seeing on the charts now. So when we left, and actually I should also say I hope you guys had a good week last week, a good weekend. I know I had a great time. I went down to Sedona. I shared some pictures in the room on my first day or two down there in Sedona. Absolutely amazing experience down there. It's like a different world. It's almost fake. It doesn't seem real. I don't know if anyone's seen some pictures of Sedona or have ever been there, but it does seem like a movie set no matter where you are. It's pretty incredible beauty, and they have some of the best mountain biking trails, I think, in the world. So I definitely learned a lot and got leveled up a little bit in my skills, and had a great time the whole time. Everyone I met in Sedona was absolutely amazing. Met some great people, maybe met a future wife. So lots of really great stuff. You really need to get out and explore and get away from your everyday life. So make sure you take a couple weeks out of the year to do that. So let's talk about this. So on Friday, we talked about seeing that we were testing into, and maybe what I should do is come out maybe to the 4 hour. We were testing right into the first major retracement level that we put on our charts at 43.47.5. So if you were here on that last Friday when we were together, we talked about seeing that we were testing right into the first major retracement we had on our charts, and we had an hourly potential bullish signal and a 4 hour potential bullish signal from that low. And because of that, it gave us a clue that there was probably going to be a bounce. However, what I said is that every time we got these bullish signals on the hourly and the 4 hour from the low of the previous session or from the overnight session, it only led to a little pop, and then the bears continued to swat it down. So there was no guarantee that we were going to have, a huge breakout to the upside, but there was an expectation for an attempt to bounce higher just before the market opened on Friday of not last week, but the week before that. So all the clues were there for a bounce on Friday morning. What happened? Well, the market pushed and bounced, pushed to a new high for the day. And then going into the last week, the week that I wasn't here, we had a pretty good rally from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, going into Thursday. And then Thursday, the whole thing dropped back out, and there's that swat right back down. So we got a much bigger bounce from that signal of not last Friday, but 2 Fridays ago now. And it looks like it's been rejected again. And that's not surprising given the nature of the market right now. But that was a pretty healthy retracement there. And if you look from the high of the year, which is this high up here at the top of the screen, all the way down to that low from, again, our pre-market on Friday, where we saw everything lining up for a potential bullish bounce. If you measure that leg, they came up and they failed just in front of the 50%. I mean, it wasn't perfect to the tick. It would have been nice if they came up another 5-6 points and tagged right into it and then failed there. But for all intents and purposes, that was a nice, healthy leg down, a 50% retrace, and now it's starting to kind of wash out again. And it's also interesting to note that that was also our scaffolding level there at the 50%. And so as you can see, every time we get all the confluence for the bulls on this pullback, it's really not getting much of anything. So let's look at and let's get into our pre-market here for this morning. What I'd like to do first is actually jump up way up to the top of the chart here, all the way up to the monthly and the quarterly, because we are coming to the end of this month. So I want to review what we were talking about up here on the monthly chart. So if you remember back to the beginning of September, we came up here to the monthly chart, and I told you that there was some potential on here from the high of July. We started to see this potential bearish divergence. And I told you guys what we need to see happen here to get our first clue of confirmation that this is going to be a nice, clear, bearish monthly signal from the high of July. We would want to see the market come down and go ahead and break through the low of the previous month. So if the bears brought the market way back down, retraced the previous month's price action, and broke through the low of last month, which guess what level that is, 44.11 quarter, should sound pretty, you should remember that level, right? We were watching it as the really important level to hold for the bullish case on the daily up here, right? We said if we can hold above 44.11 quarter, which was this swing back here, then we were going to still have a potential daily bullish signal. And then you can see as we got closer to that level, we actually bounced right off of it. 44.11 quarter actually led to a couple good trades, but then they just brought it lower and lower, and then again, we came right into that 38% retracement that we put on our charts back a week and a half ago, or whatever it was. So 44.11 quarter is very relevant up here on the monthly as well, because that was that very important level that we wanted to see hold, or actually break, to start to get confirmation of this bearish signal on the monthly. Well, look what happened this month. So far, we came down and we broke through the low of that previous candle, basically now confirming our bearish signal up here. And what I'll do is grab one of these red dots. I'm going to throw it up there. Now that we broke the low of the signal candle, we now have a bearish monthly signal. All right, so this is no longer a dotted line. It's now officially a signal. Now, are we going to get continued follow through for a deeper sell-off and maybe even break through the low of the August candle? There's no guarantee on that, but this is what we're seeing here. So let me just go ahead and make this a solid line now. So up on the monthly, this potential bearish signal we were anticipating at the beginning of August has now come to fruition, right? It's now starting to follow through. So kind of interesting to note that. If we go up to the quarterly, which is one more step above the monthly here, each